Good afternoon to machinist members and allies in the labor movement. This is the 141 Report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehive, a communications representative for District Lodge 141. Today we travel to our nation's capital and visit IAM Local 1759 and speak with Bill Huston, who is the president of the local. As always, before we start today's report, we continue to remind our viewers to please like our IAM 141 Facebook social media page, follow our Twitter page, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Remember also to visit our IAM141.org website and sign up for our weekly emails and bulletins. Information and communication is always at your fingertips. We ask you to participate in joining these online web and social media sites. Okay, so let's get started as our 141 report starts now. Hi, Brother Bill, and welcome to our weekly program for union members.
Good afternoon, Dave. How are you, sir?
Good. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Bill, please tell the viewers about yourself. How did you start in the airline business? And what is your background as an IAM member? And also, what positions have you held in the Machinist Union?
I started with United Airlines in Norfolk, Virginia back in 1969. I was looking for something to do. I was working my way through college. And I started on the ramp, got my training, my one-day OJT, then the pit was mine, moved into the fueling aspect of it, cargo, mail, freight, bags, and eventually ended up at a customer service position inside, working the counter, gates, baggage service. Those continue on now for 51 and a half years. I'm currently the above-the-wing safety advocate at Washington Dulles. And we are two ATWs there in Dulles, and we're working to promote a safety atmosphere at United 24/7. With union business, we didn't get invited to the union for 1999, so 22 years with the union at this point. I've been a shop steward, building committee person, trustee, vice president, and currently the president of Local 1759. That's Capital Airlines. Local 1759, which stems from our deep history in the aviation industry back to Penn Central Airlines in 1951. And then we joined with Capital Airlines. In 1961, we merged with United and moved over to our current location in Herndon, Virginia, which is just outside the parking lot for Washington Dulles Airport.
Okay, awesome. So how important is it being an IAM union member, and why did you get involved in helping the Machinist Union?
Well, the union protects us from the big business. If we didn't have the union, we wouldn't have any work rules, sick leave, overtime protections that just protect our membership. And I wanted to see how the union worked from the inside out. I wanted to be able to help my brothers and sisters learn to contract, understand the work rules, and stay protected from the big industry that out to just basically run over us if they had the opportunity.
Okay. So our members want to learn more about Local 1759. First thing I got to ask you is, how large is the local?
Currently over 2,000 with the number of retirees, COLAs and stuff. It's hard to get an exact count, but we're north of 2,000 total membership. We cover 4 states, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, 5 airlines. We cover United, Southwest, American, Alaska, and British Air, plus 5 service industries: Ogden Services, Ogden Support, Menzies Fueling, and keeps us pretty wide range of representation for the union here in the local capital area.
Now you mentioned four states. What airports is 1759 encompassing?
We cover Richmond, Norfolk, Washington National, Washington Dulles, Wilmington, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, and Hilton Head, South Carolina, with the addition of UGE into the local 1759 umbrella.
So I've been to your local numerous times, and you work with some very skilled and talented machinists on your e-board. Can you tell the viewers about them?
Yeah, our e-board is outstanding. They handle everything to the greatest degree, especially when we had the reductions in force, the furloughs, the layoffs due to COVID-19, the basic epidemic situation. They answered thousands of questions 24/7. And our committee is comprised our grievance committee chair, Barbara Martin, is also the vice president east of the district and runs a tight ship and keeps her people in line. We have Bill Peer as our grievance secretary. Sherry Curtis is our customer service committee person. Billy Hoover is customer service ramp service committee person in Dulles. And over in National, we have Eddie Davis handles the ramp committee. Brad Rogers handles the CS committee. Alex Cervantes handles our stores committee here in Dulles. So it's a really good group, willing to dedicate 24 hours a day if they need. And they proved that during the epidemic and the furlough situation we just went through.
Okay. So when your local needs district support and help, who are your primary AGCs that you would work with?
Our AGCs for customer service is Richie Creighton. He handles Washington, Dulles, and Washington National. Mike Siscon handles the ramp for Dulles and National. And our Grand Lodge rep is Gil Simmons.
Okay, and that's strictly just for 141. You have 142 representatives that come in there for Southwest and Ogden and who else? Would
American.
American Mechanics. Yeah, right. Well, we all know that committee people are important to all locals. Can you talk about your committees that you have going on at 1759?
We have several committees. We have our EAP committee, Dave Davis, Adriana Picasso run that. Women's committee is headed by Lulu Torres, and she also takes care of our retirees committee. Legislative committee is Bill Peer, and our safety committee is Brian Leifker. And as always, we're looking for volunteers for the membership to say, hey, we want to help. How can we do it? And we'll get you on a committee and get you involved.
Okay. You had mentioned the building committee as well, too. Can you describe what the building committee is?
Well, the building committee currently is Adriana Picasso, our EAP rep, and she does the building committee. She's also an instructor down at the harbor when they're open. So she helps a lot with the local and the Grand Lodge on those deals. And the building committee takes care of the building needs. We own two buildings and they're side by side. So we have a lot of stuff that she has to take care of. Anything that walks on maintenance wise or anything, she would be the one to contact. And
okay, so like the billing and stuff like that.
Yes.
The billing, if you have repairs and whatnot, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I think that's very similar to 1781. They've got something like a building committee as well too, and they watch over the operation of the building.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Bill, you've have many years of service. You said 51 years, I believe it was. What's the most important thing you value yourself as being a union member?
I think the tightness and the solidarity that the union portrays when we have to stand up for our rights, contract time. We don't want to be pushed over by big business. We don't want to hear excuses from big business that they can't support this, they can't support that. The union standing in solidarity. We vote whether we like it. If we don't like it, we say no and send it back to the table. We, as a union, we have a lot of rights and protections given to us by those that came before us, that we have to express that to the new people. A lot of that is lost in transition. They come in, they hire to go to training, and they never hear about the union. I don't know if that's a purposely left out item. We try to educate them, but we only get a couple hours during their new hire training. We need to teach them and tell them how in 1888, a group of railroad workers started this union, and the rights and the fights literally fights that they had to go through to maintain the strong solidarity of the IAM. You know, we're only as strong as the weakest member in our union. If that weakest member doesn't participate, that's our fault. We failed. So we need to get out there and educate and encourage them to participate every opportunity they have.
So as we get close to finishing up this video segment, do you have any thoughts you want to make mention of before we end this report?
Just that as a union member, we have to constantly be on guard from our companies trying to erode our rights, trying to do our work, trying to outsource our work. And as a member, it's up to us to report and file a grievance that management or somebody else is doing our work. Our core work is ours and only ours. And just because you're tired or you don't want to do something, you let somebody take over your job for a couple hours, pretty soon it's a couple hours, couple days, couple weeks. And next thing you know, we don't have that job. We can't afford that. So it's your job, do it, stay strong. If you need help, reach out to a union brother or sister. We'll be there to help you. Any questions, see a shop steward. You know, do not go into management alone. Take a shop steward with you just for protection. Not to say that all of them are evil or have bad intent, but sometimes it gets misconstrued. You protect yourself at all times.
Bill, I want to go back to committees just for 1 second. You know, one of the committees that we didn't really talk about was community service. And I know that your local's been involved in community service as well, too. You guys work with Guide Dogs of America, correct?
That's correct. We recently, or last year when pre-COVID, we had a golf outing. We raised over $70,000 to Golf Dogs, Guide Dogs of America, to Pup Pascarella in memory of our fallen president who passed away on the job a couple of years back. In his memory, we had that golf outing scheduled for every year, but last year it didn't occur because of the COVID. We'll get back into it as soon as we're allowed, and we'll have our Pause for Pascarella event and hopefully be able to support Guide Dogs of America continuously from now on.
Okay, just for clarification, it's 7,000 or 70,000?
70,000.
$70,000. Wow,
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I didn't realize it was that much money. Well, this kind of wraps up this week's 141 report. Thank you, Brother Bill, for coming on and talking about your large local and people you work with and represent.
Well, thank you, Dave, for having us, and we always enjoy listening to your program in the afternoons and how other locals are doing, and we like to stay in touch with everyone.
Appreciate it. Since we've been talking about Washington, D.C., before we go, we've got several legislative updates on our Facebook IAM 141 MNPL page. The Protect the Right to Organize, or we know as the PRO Act, is an important topic. We currently have 47 senators who have co-sponsored this important labor bill. We ask all IAM members to contact your senator and ask them to support the PRO Act. Special shout out to our Arizona members who have Senator Mark Kelly and Kristen Sienema, and Virginia Senator Mark Warner, who have not yet co-sponsored this important labor bill. So please put priority on contacting them as soon as possible and tell them to co-sponsor the PRO Act. To all our viewers, please stay safe during this pandemic and have a great weekend. Bye for now.